the whole store here is couverture and the GARBSTORE. Couverture is the women's, GARBSTORE is the men's. Couverture, French word to cover, because originally the couverture business was a homeware business, and we made bed linen, home accessories, all of that stuff. Then it slowly absorbed women's fashion and kids fashion, and now it does everything. And the GARBSTORE, garb is the oldest English word for clothing. Store is, where was that? It's a store, so it just literally means clothes shop, which I like. Is simple. The concept of the store is quite an easy one, really. I mean, again, it's very much this idea of being local, and you know, we both my wife and I, my wife does the upstairs, the women's part. You know, we're not really swayed by big ad campaigns or big brands, or you know, it was just never that interesting for us. And you know, when we worked for other companies, we were constantly traveling, and you know, these days, do you want to find something out, you type it into a search bar. You know, that's how you find stuff out. But then you had to get on a plane, you had to get up at 4 in the morning, go to that particular market in Antwerp that sold the books. You know, you had to go to Japan, you had to get up and every Tuesday of the month go to the flea market at the temple, and you know, that's how you found inspiring, interesting things. And it's how you meet people along the way, as opposed to just sitting in a room and finding it. And then if you don't find it, you assume it doesn't exist, which of course it does. You just haven't, you know, it hasn't popped up in front of you instantly. And I think it was that mentality of having to physically go out into the world and find stuff. You know, we'll try and meet people who are actually making the stuff, you know, meet people who own the brands and just deal directly with them. And you know, a lot of things we do are directly with factories, with makers. You know, there's no kind of middle fashion business part of the things we do. I think the idea of we wanted to do something, you know, for the people who lived here, really, you know, to be a very local shop. And I think, you know, that's the thing. It's so easy to kind of view yourself as a big global concern these days, but to actually do something just for the area you're in, you know, like a cafe or a hairdresser, or, you know, or a small restaurant. I think it's really important not to rest on your laurels. I mean, we produce quite a large collection ourselves anyway, but it's always, you know, the really interesting things is when you can go and make shoes for someone, because we don't make our own shoes. You know, we were very firm about, we didn't really want to just be a kind of colour palette in an alternative viewpoint on what they were doing. So, you know, they allow us to kind of really do some quite odd things with the shoes, like making them inside out, which is what this model was. You know, this is all stuff from the inside, and there's 3 layers of materials in here, and you know, taking the toweling and putting it on the outside. You know, it's important for us to, you know, feel like the collaboration isn't just a one-way street. Not to be kind of shouty and exclusive, because again, that's not really the reason for doing it. It's just to have interesting, nice stuff that we want to personally have ourselves. You know, there'll be old bag makers or old, you know, any accessory makers who are making just brilliant products, you know, that we'd really love, and we'd want to, you know, talk to those guys and meet them and, you know, make stuff for the shop, really. So, you know, we'll just be making things, you know, that they're doing, and, you know, bringing back some of the older details that they don't have on the bags currently, just so we can have that product here.